This fucking Craig dude better not fuck up our audio because we're missing out on Star Wars for this shit.
We'll go see Star Wars tomorrow, dude.
You know, I know for a fact something's gonna come up and then we're not gonna be able to see it.
Nah, Florida weather's terrible right now. It's fine.
All right.
It's terrible right now.
Let me know when you guys are going to see it and like what time. I'll try to see it at the same time.
Tomorrow, and pretty much tomorrow at I think what was it? Igley 10:30 was the only one available.
Yeah.
Are
I mean,
we
no,
talking?
you're looking earlier.
We're talking 10:30 p.m. right?
Yeah, no AM.
Alright. Oh,
We can go at like
that's
8
not my time.
o'clock.
8 o'clock didn't have 3 people in a row. You'd be. It
Yes,
does. It did.
At Regal.
They're all in the front seat.
At
They're
Regal.
all in the front.
At
Oh,
Regal.
Oh,
Not
I don't
the
know if I checked
Cobb.
Regal. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, this is. I don't really have a name for the podcast yet.
Oh, we're starting?
I guess so. I don't know what to do about the intro, but I guess we could just start with.
Wouldn't it just be the bare minimum bandits?
It could be the no, because that's someone else's thing.
Who?
Uber Hacks or Nova made that
Then why the fuck is the Discord named that?
because it's such a great name, dude. It's such a great name. But
Weren't we like the fucking regulators in GTA?
Oh, we were
Yeah,
something
you
else in
can't-
What
GTA.
was it? The
You
Raggedy,
can't-
the Raggedy Pack or whatever?
Oh,
No,
you
that's-
don't. No,
we could do the Raggedy Pack, dude.
We can do the Raggedy Pack.
We can't do the regulators.
No, we can't because there was 2 words in front of that
Yeah.
makes it not so great.
Yeah.
I don't remember the
But,
first word. I just know the second one was.
What if we're the Rowdy Rough Boys?
Jesus.
Name of the-
Is
What
that
the
Ed
fuck?
Nettie?
No, that's from Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, I remember him now. The counterpart to the girls.
Yeah,
gonna
like
have
Mojo
to
Jojo
add
created.
Gonna have to add a beep into Blake's.
I
track
don't remember.
now.
Were they created with like gross stuff?
Oh, what?
Yeah, yeah,
And Chemical X.
yeah. I was just. I'll look it up.
I don't know. All right, well, we'll
Talk
go with
about
Raggedy
Powerpuff
Pack
Girls
until
as
we
our first topic.
we'll go with Raggedy Pack until we get an actual. Maybe we'll have I don't know how soon we'll get comments on these or whatever, but have some comments. Dictate our name. That's
I
dangerous.
vote for just call it TBA.
TBA. We'll be on episode 200, and it'll still be TBA. All right. So we could talk about video game awards. We could talk about our favorite games. What do you want to start with?
What do you have outlined for us?
Yeah, moderator.
So first one is VGAs.
The way Higley asked that, he tried to sound so professional.
The
You have a problem?
Like,
It was
we
genuine.
hey,
have
it's gonna be
outline
some
for
rough
us, Reader.
patches on the first episode.
Listen, no,
It's
I'm
gonna be
just
some rough-
I'm just feeding off Gojo.
What do you have outlined
Alright.
this for us, father?
We got all right. Let's talk about video game awards. I'll go through all the video game topics, and what won. And since we have a lot, what are we doing? It's 5 people in here. Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Didn't
We
you
play a
never
lot of
hit-
different genre games. We'll
you
be able to
never
touch
hit
on everyone.
record.
Sure, I did.
Bro, Craig is
in
All
here,
I
bro.
see is Craig join, not Craig record.
It's
Look
saying
at Craig's
recording,
name in
dumbass.
general.
Okay,
chat.
it's recording. Okay.
Oh, that's weird,
sorry,
dude.
sorry,
Yeah,
Craig.
make sure you don't cut all of this out the podcast. This is gold, dude.
I'm
Oh,
not.
Can we talk about how Corey has the best mic out of all of us?
Corey
I don't.
Corey and I
sounds
have the
really
same
fucking-
exact mic.
Corey-
just
Blake doesn't
sounds
have a
better.
mixer
Listen.
though.
Corey sounds really
But-
fucking sexy. I'm not gonna lie. There's just like there's a smooth bass to his voice.
There
Like,
you go.
Holy
I just
shit.
woke up, so it's helping me a little bit. Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't
Yeah, you
drank
got
any
that
water.
smooth
So I'm
jazz
just dying
wake-up
over
voice.
here like I ate a Popeye's biscuit. I may sound nice, but I assure you, it does
Nice.
not feel nice right now.
Oh, well. All right.
You feel nice to my ears.
Wow.
Thanks,
All right.
Dad.
Can we talk about video game awards instead of trying
Yeah.
to like flirt with each other? Okay. We got game of the year. We got okay. This is only going to be kind of the half of us can answer because half of us have played it. Actually, it might just be me and Igley. There was Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Super Smash Bros. And the Outer Worlds, and Sekiro. Sekiro won it.
This is game of the year.
This is game of the
Yes.
year.
Repeat that.
Control, Death Stranding, Sekiro, The Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and the Outer Worlds.
That is so fucking ass.
I know, and I know
Like,
what you're
there's
gonna
maybe
say.
2 games that
Yeah,
deserve to
actually-
be included in that list.
Resident Evil 2 was good. The remake was good, but it is a remake. I can see
It was something a lot of people were looking forward to, and we're not talking about like a remake. Hey, this game was on the last console.
Yeah.
This last time this game saw a release, it was super far back. We're talking about like PS1 era.
Yeah.
Look,
So
I don't even
it was
really
remade
care.
from the ground up.
Yes.
I don't care necessarily about Resident Evil 2 being on that list. Sekiro's fine. Smash Bros is fine.
No,
I
it's
didn't
not.
play any of the other games. But the fact that Star Wars isn't on there.
Star Wars. Okay, so this is my thing. If Star Wars had been on there, it would have won. It probably would have
but-
won.
I just
coulda
want
s-
to put this in, but when someone's done talking about something, I just need to bring something up, if that's okay.
Yeah. I know you're going to talk about the Smash one.
No. It's something more important.
Be sure to cut
So-
this
okay.
part out because it's the most pointless thing
Can I
ever.
talk? You know, I'm just gonna bring it up right now.
Oh,
No, I didn't cut it.
So
my
we're
God.
talking about formalities here. First off, you don't have a general name for the podcast, and second off, we're
Okay.
just a bunch of people talking that no one knows what our names are.
Bro, people know me. Speak for
We-
Oh
yourself.
yeah, you know what?
introduce
Let's
ourselves at
introduce
all.
ourselves.
At
Let's
all.
introduce ourselves. All right. How about you introduce ourselves with our favorite game currently of all time?
I like that.
All right. So okay, I'll go first. My name is there's 2 Corys on the podcast, so I'll just go by Kojo. All right, that's fine with me. And my
Kojo or
favorite game,
Snodge.
Snodge. I don't like Snodge, but Blake calls me that, so that's fine. My favorite game currently right now is probably God of War, the new one. Well, it's 2018, I think, is when it came out. It's either between that and Ratchet and Clank, but I'll just go God of War. All right, who's going next?
Followed it with another Corey. Get
All
the
right.
chorus out the way.
I
Yeah.
am the other Corey that made Corey change his name to Kojo. And
Yeah.
my favorite current game is Fortnite. 2 of my favorite games of all time, single player. Hey,
Fortnite.
you
Blake
can sleep in the
left.
chat.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Fortnite.
Hold on. That's my favorite current game. All right, I want to
Yes.
redeem myself a little bit. Redeem like the achievement and Red Dead Redemption, which is my favorite single player game,
Ooh.
and my favorite Rockstar multiplayer game is Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay, so you
Okay,
got your
okay.
favorite single player Red Dead, you got your favorite multiplayer, well, Rockstar multiplayer GTA 5, and your favorite game of all time right now is Fortnite.
Facts.
Fair enough. Okay. Igley, why don't we just go down the Discord thing? Igley, you go next.
Yeah, that sounds good. Favorite game of all time, or just favorite game I'm vibing with now. It's gonna be suck my dick. It's gonna be Dark Souls. It's just been a super impactful game.
All right, so we
Yeah.
got so like I'm saying, it's very different genres we like. I like God of War currently. Corey likes Fortnite, and Igley likes Dark Souls, so it's super different on genres. Matt, go next. Actually, sorry, my boy Blake. Get over Blake.
Sticks.
Come back to me.
Blake, come back to you. You having trouble remembering your name? All right, Matt.
Hello, I am Matthew. Coach will call me Matt though, because he's lazy. My favorite game of all time is Super Mario Sunshine for the Nintendo GameCube because I like the way you jump around in the game. And that's
Sick.
it. I like
I never played that one.
platformers.
I agree with that. It's fun when a game gives you a lot of good movement options and like it gives you a world to use those movement options in.
We didn't ask.
All right,
I-
Blake. All right, so you introduce yourself. Save the best for last.
I should have gotten them.
Hola, me llamo Blake. My favorite game of all time is The Last of Us 1. I can't really remember why other than I was in love with Ellie, which is weird to say now that I'm 20, but I was like 13 when the game
pedophile.
came out, so it was normal.
It's alright, she's aged up.
Episode.
Yeah,
We ain't making it
yeah.
to episode 2.
For sure. She's also lesbian, but that ruins me.
Yeah.
And then my favorite multiplayer game. There's going to be no mention of like me actually liking 2K from this point on.
Okay. Okay.
But it was probably like the mixture of the end of 2K17 and the beginning of 2K18.
All right. I'd actually agree with that. I can
There
see
were
where
some
you're coming
good
from
golden
there.
years there.
I mean, for me, it was the Pro-Am team was lit,
Pro-Am was great.
and then I was also really good in my team.
Yeah.
And then when 18 came out, and I don't remember if it was 18 or 19, but whenever the position locks just went away and they released, I specifically remember Andre Karolinko just bombing threes for me after momentum crossovering when he crossed half court. And that was the end of me playing 2K.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And we all kind of came to the realization that my team was a gambling simulator. So, all right. We introduced ourselves. We're good there.
What, should we give
we'll
a more
go back
personal background of like?
No, I think we're good. I think we're good.
We don't get personal here.
We'll get personal later.
Okay.
I want to talk about the game of the game.
People
of the
don't care that
well,
me and Corey dropped out of high school.
I
Well,
was talking about you.
I wasn't going to say that.
I have the equivalent of a high school diploma and some college education. So we're good.
While Blake is just
Are you sure you want to be saying
You got to
that?
beep that out. You got to.
Yeah,
all right. I might blur it. I might.
you're getting canceled, dude.
Nah, no
Corey, give me a
sugarcoating
beep.
here.
Corey, give me a beep.
All right.
There it is.
I can give you some cool sound effects too, dude.
No, I don't need your sound effects.
Okay.
It's your mismatched audio jack. All right, so Sekiro
back
won.
to game of the year. Back to game of the year.
Star Wars didn't drop in time. I don't think, at least. That's the
Like,
only reason.
that is the only reason that game should not be on that list.
Agreed. And then I
Only
think
reason.
it would be between Sekiro and Star
To
Wars.
be fair, Death Stranding, a very late entry into the year, in
That's
like
true.
middle of November. Honestly, I just don't think Jedi Fallen, like Last Order, Fallen Order, whatever it's called, it didn't have a lot of hype back in it.
Yeah,
That's a load
that's
of
true.
shit.
I mean, no, it didn't have as much as
Death Stranding was released a week. It was released a week before.
Yeah, that might have
But
been
what I do want to say, I'm not sure what games, if any, that the game was nominated for, but I do feel like it would have been a strong contender for Action Game of the Year if there was a award for that.
The only reason I'm saying that is that it didn't make the cutoff is because I don't see it in any of these categories. And it definitely should have some music stuff, like scores. There's some music stuff. Music in that game is great.
That's just one of the most enjoyable games
Yeah.
that I've played in so long. And it wasn't just a story. It wasn't just, there like wasn't one particular thing. It was all of it. It was the story. It was the music. It was the freaking controls. Like it felt not clunky at all and completely unpredictable as to what was going to happen while you were like in a lightsaber battle.
Yeah,
And
it felt good.
Now, the higher difficulty you got and the more unblockables that the game started to roll on you could get like annoying, but it was very hard to, like, I was watching a streamer who's like, oh, you are 20% downloaded. I can't remember what his name was, but it was freaking funny. Like in those boss battles, if you were going to cut, like, I don't know, it just wasn't predictable is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it just felt so much different than a lot of the games now. And I don't know. I think it's bullshit that it wasn't included.
Yeah, I agree.
And like Outer Worlds was really.
Outer Worlds had a lot of hype behind that. as well.
Fallout New Vegas, downloaded, ported, rebooted, reskinned, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like,
I think Outer Worlds just fell short for a lot of people. I don't agree with it being a nominee, but I definitely understand your feelings towards Fallen Order. Those
What
are
would
the
you
same kind of
replace it
feelings.
with? What would you replace it with as a nominee?
out the Outer Worlds, I'd probably replace it with Fallen Order. It
Well,
seems
yeah,
like
yeah.
anyone who I've talked to the game about, be it like in personal friends or like in work life, people have had nothing but praise for the game, and that's kind of the same census I'm seeing like over the internet as well.
Are you talking about Fallen Order? Nothing but
Yes.
praise for Fallen Order. Okay. The only thing that I understood was on PC, there was a lot of bugs when it came out. I didn't get those, but I watched a couple playthroughs and people's capes were acting wonky and it just things were happening that weren't supposed to be happening. And that's really it. But I just think they didn't get it in time.
What about Modern Warfare?
They didn't. Oh, did that come out after?
That came out way before. It was like end of October,
September, something like that.
That
Modern
was
Warfare-
It was
Modern Warfare.
August 23rd.
Wow.
that was a great campaign. I'm not gonna lie. That probably should. That would have replaced Outer Worlds for me.
That should win Game of the Year just for that 725.
Oh no!
Get out of
It
here.
did win. It did win Best Sound Award, like Best Sound Design.
That's
Really?
some BS, dude. Have you
Yeah.
heard those footsteps that are like
Footsteps
they
sounds
sound like
pretty
they're
nice.
right up on you, but it's a person 30 feet away across the street.
Yeah.
I can't believe
Pretty
it.
awesome.
It really did win Best Sound Design. Holy cow!
Okay, but
Audio design. All right, so let's go to the next one. So we got
that's enough time
Sekiro.
spent on that.
Sekiro's a great game. Me and Igly have played it. Blake and Corey played a little bit, I think.
No, I didn't.
Okay,
Played a
Corey's
little
played a
bit.
little bit. It's great. It's really really fun. I can see why that would be the winner. Audio design
From that
I
list,
don't
yeah.
know. Yeah, for sure. Best action adventure game is also Sekiro. It's the same list pretty much.
All right,
Borderlands
just
3
fucking
gets
skip.
introduced. Yeah, for sure. Skip that one. Content creator of the year. I don't watch enough content creators.
Skip that one. Like, let's only do the ones that are like
Yeah.
games. We don't need to do like the sound and like the music and that kind of shit. Just like the concept of games.
You don't want to do the score and music?
I mean, what are the nominees? Like if it's a bunch of games I haven't played, then obviously I haven't heard the score and music for them.
Yeah, it's like Kingdom Hearts and Devil May
Yeah, no,
Cry and
skip,
stuff.
yeah.
Death Stranding won that. Okay. Oh, and best narrative. Okay, this is a game that I don't know anything about. The 5 games they chose for it are, so this is best narrative, so it's like best single player games. I'm assuming that's what that is. It's A Plague Tale: Innocence. I've seen some playthroughs of that. Control is back again. The Outer Worlds, Death Stranding, and Disco Elysium, which won it. Now I don't know what Disco Elysium is. I've read some reviews of it, but it sounds like I need to buy it and play it. Like I'm just looking at reviews of this thing and it's like 9s, 9s and 10s, but it's a top down.
It's really interesting because I mean it won a lot of awards. I think it took 3 awards that night, and it was an indie game that just hit like a lot of highs for the people who played it. I don't know much about it. I haven't looked into it. I haven't heard about the game until I saw that it won so many awards, but it's definitely a game that's been put on my radar.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have to buy it, and for the next podcast, we can give our opinions on it.
Put that in the
That ain't
company
happening,
budget.
Chief.
Yeah.
Well, I'll definitely play it.
And by the company budget, you mean Kojo's credit card.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Because you know damn well
Alright.
I'm not paying money for some indie game that I wouldn't buy.
Okay. So let's go to
$31.99
It's on sale.
for $31.99.
for an indie game. It's $30. Holy cow! All right. So what are some? Let's transition into what are your guys' like undercover diamond in the rough games that are worth trying, like something that you didn't think you'd like, but ended up being a really good game.
So, like recent?
No, it could be anything, any year.
My answer's easy for this one.
Oh, you go
tell
first.
us.
Then.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go ahead and say you all should check out Rivals of Ether because it is an indie game, and if you like Super Smash Brothers, then you'll like this game because it plays just like it, except the developers communicate with the players, so they actually update the game constantly to make it towards an enjoyable competitive game. and I have bias for it because I'm really good at it and I've won a lot of money from playing it.
What do you rank currently in the world on that game?
Number 9.
Number 9. Top 10. That's pretty cool. Okay, I can give mine. Mine would kind of, I think it's an older one. Well, they just remade it. Mine would be Ratchet and Clank. It's kind of like it's like Jack and Daxter, but
That's not
just
under the radar. That's not under the radar.
Ratchet and Clank?
That's not a hidden gem. Everyone in their
Okay.
Are we? Is there words we can say and not say on this show?
No, I would go whatever.
Can I say?
You're gonna get us
word?
demonetized, bro.
Okay. All right. Well, everyone and their mother knows what the heck Ratchet and Clank is and Jack and Daxter. I'm sorry.
I feel like the only reason you guys know Ratchet and Clank is because I bring it up like every time.
It's everyone who knows anything about action adventure platformers knows that it's the mainstay on the PlayStation.
So basically, I don't have any undercover gems to give.
That'll be a good question if you gave more people more time to prepare for an answer. I do have one off the top of my head.
All right, let's see it.
So I'm pretty sure everyone knows about Yoko Taro and his game Nier Automata. It hit the limelight when its release and took a lot. Yeah, it took a lot of people by storm with its narrative and its strange method of character design. But many people don't know that it's the second game in the series. The first game, just called Nier, is a cult classic and has been for many years. And it's just been.
Can I cut you off?
You want to cut me off? I'm sorry.
If you just said it's a cult classic, then why are you saying it's a hidden gem?
I would say it's a hidden gem.
A cult classic is what you define a game that is followed by a small subset of people, but it's not widely known.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Would you disagree with that statement?
Yeah, you used the word cult, so I'll agree with you.
But yeah, Yoko Taro and his writing style is just so abstract.
Yeah.
And he designs inherently flawed characters or characters that seem strange at first sight, but you learn to respect them out of their just how they approach challenges and their motives for how they act. And the reason the game kind of flopped originally is just because it really didn't have the best gameplay to pair up with it. And that's kind of been a long trend with his games. Play them for the story, not for the gameplay. But there really is a great story that I feel like a lot of people would love.
Now, I have played through that, and I've only completed the first ending. I hear there's like multiple endings in it.
There are 4 core endings. They play through linearly. So like once you complete the game once, you hit start game and continue from the same save file, you'll just continue. You'll just progress normally. There's no way to miss it. And the game outright tells you after completing it once that there's more story to be had here. But unfortunately, probably like only 25% of the player base
gets to the first one.
50% of the player base stopped after the first playthrough.
Fair enough. I mean, I was satisfied with the first ending. I'm sure the other ones are awesome.
It gets fucking wild, my guy.
It was already wild.
Hey. Watch it.
Said it's
You could
okay,
say
you
the
fucking
F word,
prune.
dude.
Then I would have said it before.
Okay, it gets freaking
No,
wild.
don't correct it. Don't correct it, because I don't want this to be like a kid's
baby
podcast.
mode.
Yeah, no. You can say the F word. It's fine.
This is content for kids, bro.
No, because if it's content for kids, the new thing on YouTube is Copa. We'll
It
get
was
sued.
content for kids. I wouldn't be in here, dude. Like my
Bofa?
channel,
You
It's
play
not.
Fortnite.
It's true.
it does not
Alright.
comply.
What is your
Corey,
channel
are
about?
you going next or am I going?
Oh yeah. Let's-
You can go, Blake.
All right. I got 3.
Yo, we literally asked for one.
Pick
Yeah.
one.
just
I
do
got
one.
3.
Just do your best one.
I
Just
got
do your
3.
best one. Okay,
So the first
make
one
it
I'm not
quick,
going to
man.
talk about much because it's not a hidden gem.
Sick.
It's
I like
just-
it.
Then why are you talking?
I'd never played it. Never thought I'd like it. And I played it and it was lit. God of War, PS4. It's
That
done.
is
You did
not
not
an
just
undercover
say
gem.
God of
Alright.
War is a
Then-
hidden gem.
My
Not
hidden
an
gem is
undercover
game of the
gem.
year.
I literally said it's not a hidden gem. I said that it wasn't a hidden gem.
Okay.
I
what is-
literally said
But
that.
okay, it's a game you feel
Ask
like people
Craig.
should play.
Ask Craig.
we'll
Okay,
ask Craig later.
If you
It's a
haven't
game-
played it, You should play it.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a great
understandable.
game. I can agree. That's a great
All
game.
right. Second one I'm not going to talk about very much. Dead by Daylight. Super fun multiplayer game.
Fair enough.
Get shit on with the boys, win with the boys, whatever. It's super fun. Until you play with someone like Matthew, who gets really angry when you're incompetent, then it becomes not fun. So as long as you can be competent and play with friends that will tolerate you being dumb, it'll be fun.
I cannot stand incompetence in anything in my life.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're number 9 on Rivals of Aether, so it kind of.
All right.
Now
the one game that I truly do think is a hidden gem, even though it's not necessarily super hidden like a Rivals of Aether or Kojo's first time on Nier, but Detroit Become Human.
That's not an undercover gem, brother.
Blake, come on, dude.
I absolutely love that game.
Oh my god.
All right, so back to undercover gems or games you thought you were gonna hate but actually enjoyed. Corey, you're up.
Well, I wouldn't really consider this an undercover gem or a game that I thought I would hate because I really like the cover of it.
God, if you say Fortnite.
It's not Fortnite. That's like the most popular or one of the most popular games in the world. It's an older game that I bought again recently on sale. It is the first Mirror's Edge game.
Okay.
I said that wrong. It revolutionized.
Oh, it's fine.
Hey,
continue, King.
We ain't gonna be perfect, man. We're dumb.
I just gotta take one fucking earphone off. All right, that's my curse word for the stream. It revolutionized parkour in video games. So
that's true.
I mean, it's a really fun game to play. Short campaign. You can choose how you play through it. You can play passively or you can go guns blazing. If just running around isn't your style, you can also run around and kill zombies in Dying Light, which I'm sure more people probably know about than Mirror's Edge.
That was going to be one of the ones I said.
Just like Mirror's Edge, but with zombies.
So, I remember Mirror's Edge coming out, and I think as soon as Mirror's Edge came out, like games like, I could be wrong here, I'm pretty sure Titanfall and Dying Light came out after Mirror's Edge.
That's a fact.
They started adapting all their free running things.
Titanfall and Dying Light were both Xbox One launch-ish.
Oh yeah, and
Mirror's Edge was
360. That's correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so we got that out of the way. What are games? And this is kind of a
hold up. Can I say something about Mirror's Edge? Do you remember back when the game released, they had those videos you could purchase on the Microsoft Store that would just basically show you how to speed run through the level? They're like $5 each.
I remember. I never bought one.
I never bought them either. Also, I liked Mirror's Edge when I played of it, but I was bad at it as a kid, and I ended up training to my friend on the bus for Fable 2 when I was like in middle school.
That's a good trade.
It was a good trade.
That's a really good fucking trade.
Don't play Fable with Blake. He'll give you an STD.
Oh, no.
Bro, don't
When is the new Fable coming out?
Okay, so you want me to tell you that?
Yeah, because let's just transfer into releases. Releases we're looking forward. Never. Okay,
Lionhead Studios closed down.
Well, that's okay. We'll just segue past that. I'll just preface this by saying I'm happy. I'm excited for Cyberpunk. That's the easy answer, but that's what I'm excited for.
That's a game that a lot of hype is building around. People are really interested in seeing what CD Projekt Red has next coming up after doing what is regarded as one of the best games of all time, Witcher 3. This is their next project, which is like it's pretty neat to see.
By the way, I've started watching The Witcher on Netflix. It's got terrible ratings. Mm-hmm. I'm really liking that show. I'm really liking it.
I've heard mixed things. A lot of like, I'm gonna call them goblins on the internet, like have been like shitting on it. But from
trolls.
No, I'm talking about like straight ass goblins.
Real. Okay, I got you.
Like people that don't see daylight. I'm talking about.
Okay.
I've just seen like a lot of just shit being flamed, like as is per usual with those types of people and those types of closed echo chamber communities. But again, it's a situation about people I've talked to in daily life who have seen the show, have played the games. They said it's a little bit confusing as an adaptation. They took some liberties, but overall, it's pretty solid content.
I think they display Geralt very well in that. like super well, about as well as you can do. He's like, oh, I might get a lot of hate for this, but it's like Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man. They casted who's the guy doing Henry
Henry Cavill, Superman.
Yeah. Dude, perfect cast for that. Oh my gosh. He literally is.
Pretty sure he like wanted to be like so badly he wanted to play that role.
It makes sense. They made him look just like it. But is there any other releases that are going in 2020?
What's the
I really
topic?
haven't heard.
Repeat it.
Releases you're looking forward to. It doesn't have to necessarily be 2020.
Last of Us 2, baby.
Oh yeah.
Been waiting since I was a freaking little boy for that game.
Matt, is Rivals of Aether 2 coming out in 2020?
No, but since Nintendo doesn't know how to make any good games anymore, I don't really have anything to look forward from them, so I kind of have to go third party on this one. But Ori and the Will of the Wisps is a game I'm looking forward to because it's like a Metroidvania game. I really liked the first one. Also, Ori is a playable character in Rivals of Aether.
The second Ori game just looks
kind of a
I need to finish
crossover
the
there.
first one.
Yeah.
And then for another game is SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. For those of you who don't know, SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom was a fantastic 3D platformer in the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube era.
Are you actually
after over
right
10
now, or are
years,
you joking?
It's finally getting a re-release.
He's probably serious.
I'm serious.
No, it's a good game.
It was a good
People
game.
love it.
Yeah.
And the fans it was a huge unexpected announcement when it got announced a few months ago, and it should be coming out within the first quarter of 2020. So I'm looking forward to buying and playing through that game.
Yeah, looks February 11th. Okay, that's cool. Corey, you have any? Blake, Blake, you already said.
Blake has one more, but I'll go after Corey.
Okay, Dying Light 2.
God damn it.
Comes down like
oh, nice.
Blake was gonna say Dying Light.
Blake was gonna say Dying Light 2.
Okay. All right. Well, that's gonna be cool when those come out.
All right.
Now hearing all these different games, I'm actually super excited for 2020 because I legitimately thought Cyberpunk was the only one coming out next year. So that's actually pretty hype.
There is one more you should put on your radar, though.
What is it?
Okay. Coming up in 2020, estimated for the third quarter. Blake, I'm telling you, it's going to be on everyone. It might be on everyone except Matthew's radar. Elden Ring, the next project by From Software, makers of the Dark Souls series. Not only
definitely not on Blake's radar.
No, hold up. It is a collaborative effort from Software and George R.R. Martin, who's writing the story.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
Okay, that's a good shout out.
You have
It's on Blake's
two.
radar. It's on Blake's radar.
You have two phenomenal creators and writers who are highly regarded,
Absolutely.
working together. I'm interested in what they're gonna see. All that there's been out is just teasers of some hands grabbing I guess a ring or whatever. It's it's pretty weird. No one knows what the hell's going on, but I'm just interested in seeing more footage from that game.
From what you're saying is that game doesn't sound anywhere close to being finished.
They have marked it for a 2020 release date.
That's gonna get
nice. It might. All right. Let's talk about Mandalorian.
Ooh.
Let's talk about the Mandalorian. Now, Igley and Matt have yet to see it, but we're planning. Well, we haven't planned it yet, but I want to watch it with them together. Soon, for sure. Because that show is, you don't even have to like Star Wars to like. You could hate Star Wars and like the show still. It is that good. It's so good.
I said something to one of my friends last night that The Mandalorian doesn't even really feel like a Star Wars TV series.
Yeah.
It just feels like its own thing.
It could be something enjoyed. Obviously, if you have any kind of knowledge about Star Wars, you know, Baby Yoda, why he's called Baby Yoda, because he's the same species as Yoda from the movies. But at the same time, to the more common fan, they don't know what the hell a Mandalorian is. They don't know that he's a super badass, warmonger, any of that stuff. It can easily be enjoyed by someone a casual, just TV fan, someone looking to watch something. Like it's that good and well written of a series. And I don't know. I just think it gives me hope for Disney's Star Wars after seeing Rise of Skywalker put the punctuation on that trilogy.
Yeah, we haven't seen that. Only you have seen Rise of Skywalker. So I don't want to,
it's not bad. Let me say that. It's not as bad as The Last Jedi, but the trilogy as a whole was disappointing to me. That's all I'll say.
Well, yeah, we kind of, yeah.
I've heard people saying that like the writer or the director for the third one should have been in charge of the entire trilogy.
Yes, he was in charge of the first one, and then they let Rian Johnson come in and do The Last Jedi, which was just
interesting.
Yeah.
Bad.
Let's get back to Mandalorian because I don't want to spoil it. Corey, what do you like about Mandalorian without spoiling? Like heavy
This is the
spoilers,
way.
at least. You like the okay?
I do like.
You
I like
watched
all
the
the
newest
guns.
episode?
Yes, I did watch the newest episode. It was
What do you think
hype.
of the last episode? Just
What do I?
yeah. What do you think about it?
I don't know how I can say something without spoiling.
Yes,
Okay,
use one word to describe it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna use a plethora of words, but it's not gonna spoil anything.
That's fine.
It has an actor that plays one of my favorite antagonists in another series. That's one of my favorite series of all time. And like he shows up and he just executes like his performance. I don't know. He just showed up at the end of the episode. He's already seeming so menacing. And it got real. It was like a cliffhanger ending. I'm ready to see what happens in episode 8, which is going to be the last episode of the first season, right?
They've already started recording the second season though, so they already confirmed it.
That's pretty sick. I like that.
Yeah.
I got one word.
You got one word. Do it.
Yeah. Horrifying.
Horrifying. Okay, I can see
Like chilling, like or what?
that.
Like
Chilling's a good word too.
I don't know how they expected me to have a happy Christmas with the ending they left. in that episode.
Okay.
Yeah. Fair
Seems
enough.
like I gotta watch this show.
It's you got to. It's very good. All right. Let's talk about some real life stuff. What do you guys currently do as a job? You can pass on this if you don't feel comfortable talking about it, but I guess you could talk about it if you want. What are you guys' jobs right now? Just kind of, I guess this probably could have been done earlier in the podcast.
This
but we're
probably
going.
should have been the first topic.
Yeah.
It's all right. We're
That's
good.
what
We're
I
good.
tried
Let's
to
just
bring
swing
up,
into
but
it.
we were like, no.
Let's swing into it because we need to take a break from games anyways because we've been talking about it for a good 45 minutes already.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to start, King?
I can start. I can start.
Photos.
Yeah, I'm a photographer / graphic designer. I do mainly commercial real estate, ground and aerials, and then we put them into books and send them to the client. And that's pretty much what I do.
You left out the part where you drive across the entire state of Florida for photo shoots that the client cancels on.
Oh yeah, dude. I don't want to talk about that because I don't know who's gonna listen, but but yeah, that wasn't fun. But I got paid for it, so I can't really complain. It was a long drive, so it paid very well.
That's nice, man.
Yeah.
Sean? Okay. I'll go next. So currently I'm a student over at USF, studying computer
Please
science.
specify what USF is.
University of South Florida. My apologies.
You're good.
I mean, it's an important question. There's multiple uses.
You're right. My
Okay,
apologies.
next. What are you studying there?
I am studying computer science. I did end up taking a break for a few semesters, but I've been getting back into it, and hopefully we'll be graduating within by the end of 2020. And my since I'm going to school, I am also working part-time. I work for Intel as one of their store reps. I'm basically in charge at making visits to various stores across the district, namely around this the Pinellas area, and basically in charge of trainings and just assisting in sales.
So basically, if anyone needs something from Intel swiped completely off the trucks, Igley is the go-to.
I do not drive the trucks.
Do you see the
But
trucks?
he knows the truck routes.
Yeah, he knows the routes. We can talk about the ambush. Okay, Matt, what are you doing currently?
Hello, I'm Matthew. I'm a Florida State University graduate, a sport management bachelor's
yet to get to
degree.
sports, but
And so right now, I actually have a pretty cool job where I work for the Tampa Bay Rays, a Major League Baseball team, and I work in the visitors clubhouse as a bat boy right now. So last season, I was in the playoffs on the field, catching baseballs, meeting a bunch of cool superstar players, and getting money from them for tips, which is always nice.
the tips part is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah, it's a pretty cool job. I hope to do it for a few years at least. And I also work at a car wash, which is I've been doing that for about 7 years now. You know, it's not the main career path, but it's some nice
You're
easy
making that
side
paper,
money
homie.
to make
That's all you gotta say.
So yeah, that's it for me.
All right, we can either have Corey or Blake go next.
Let's have Corey go first.
Oh, you want
Then
me?
that can sound less
I mean-
disappointing.
Oh, okay,
Wow.
yeah. Okay. So I don't even have. Well, okay. I don't have a real job right now. I am a full-time YouTuber and Twitch streamer with a random upload schedule. You can search me on YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or wherever. My name is AKCorey47. Give me some views, some subs. Shameless plug.
My turn.
I recommend. It's good stuff. Blake, your turn.
I currently work as a certified Michelin technician at Costco Wholesale. I'm a tire installer. I do rotation balancing, tire repairs, whole 9 yards. And I'm also a certified kickboxing trainer at 9 Run Kickboxing Fitness. If you want to come in for a first free workout in the O'Fallon area, let me know. I get a bonus.
What is the
And-
Fallon area? Please specify.
O'Fallon,
Don't specify
Missouri.
because you're giving your address.
63367 is the zip code.
Okay. All right.
And then in January, I'll be going back to the University of Missouri to resume my education as a pre-journalism major with an emphasis in broadcasting, and probably a minor in film studies.
Nice, man.
You can tell Blake's journalism major because he literally is the grammar Nazi in the group.
Something
No,
like that.
nothing gets past him.
Yeah, God forbid I
Perhaps.
misspelled
Alright.
something on accident.
You're done.
It's
You're
clearly a
absolutely
mistake.
done. You're done. 10-minute
Game
argument.
deleted, dude.
Yeah.
Your entire existence is getting roasted.
Okay. So let's go back to games a little bit here. Matt, when is
Oh,
your
I'm
next
first.
Rivals of Aether tournament? You were
So-
retired for a little bit. You gonna tell us are you back in it now?
Homie came back like
the big finals tournament, Genesis 7
There we
now
go.
coming up, January 17th. And the funny thing is, right before we started this podcast, I was trying to find a place to stay. Someone had a hotel room in. Right now, it's not looking too good. So I'm not trying to waste the money on a plane ticket to go because if you don't know, it's in Oakland, California. So I refuse to stay in a B&B in Oakland, California. So it's not looking too likely. So as of right now, it's more so just local tournaments across the state of Florida.
And you're completely done with Smash, huh?
Yeah, they don't make good games anymore.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Fair enough. I know. I don't. Igley, are you going to Rivals of Aether tournaments as well locally or no?
Locally, I try to. I mean, at this point, it's more so like I'm not hitting every single one, but once or twice a month, I pop in mainly to see the boys there and just kill a Wednesday afternoon.
And he also adds to the Matty Ice tournament.
The
winning.
entourage.
The pot. Add to the
Okay.
pot.
Oh no, because Matt just goes in and obliterates everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. Okay. All right. It's good to know you guys hustle the local area.
I hustle. Igley does.
Wow, you gonna throw him under the bus like that?
I
He's
mean-
more active in the Rivals community on Twitter.
Ooh,
I hus-
that's true. I do see you. Yeah,
mean-
that's true.
Hey man, if I had a, never mind.
If you had a what?
If I'm
Ooh.
just,
Let's say it.
if I had a
Oh.
cute little dog to help promote my brand, I could be more active in the Rivals of Aether community.
I have considered making a dedicated Bella Twitter.
I think you should do that. I totally think you should do that.
Did I have to keep up with like taking cute photos of her? Maybe. We'll see.
Can we give Bella some spotlight? Right? Can we explain who Bella is?
Bella is my dog. She is a Maltese poodle of going to 7 years, and she's pretty adorable. She's super friendly around people. She'll bark at you a lot until she gets calmed down, but she pretty much after meeting you for the first time, and if you're not like an asshole or a prick, she'll just pretty much she won't leave your side.
Yeah. It's a cool dog.
Faithful beast.
Put a picture of her on the podcast.
You're really gonna do that to me, huh? First episode. I don't know how any of this stuff works. Yeah, put a picture up there. Graphic design artist. Okay. How's your PC coming along, Igley?
So currently, 500 of like $700 spent on it so far. Probably lowballing a little bit. Just got the motherboard and storage, and then like thermal paste to get. But pretty much, I'm in the position where I can just make the purchase anytime. It's just a matter of when I pull the trigger. Probably should be done before. I'm gonna estimate halfway through January. I'll probably jump and get everything put together with some assistance potentially from Corey guiding me, so I don't.
Just about to ask if you want assembly help.
Not you, Corey. The better Corey.
I might since it might be fun to have Kojo help, just so I don't like shit on a $300 processor.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Don't bend the pens, bro.
You'll be all right.
I'm gonna crack the case open.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about something that's very near and dear to Corey's heart. The riot shield in Modern Warfare.
You fucker. Why did you make that a topic?
The weapon, mainly weapon balancing. What needs to happen in that game for it to become
okay? I remember us talking about this when you were coming up with topics. Yeah, if you use the riot shield, you're a horrible person. Get off this podcast right now.
I agree totally. You're banned from the channel.
Reevaluate your life. You need Jesus. Oh my God,
leave.
Hold up, bro. I wasn't talking about it. Obviously, Igley, if you're my friend and you use the riot shield, it's okay. That's how that works.
I fucking love the riot shield, dude.
All right, if someone else on the other team uses the riot shield, I hate them.
Sounds like a double standard to me.
It is a double standard.
Absolutely. Some double standards are meant to be upheld, you know?
So
that's
riot
pretty
shields.
much all I got.
So I've kind of ghosted on the game since mid-November. What's it looking like now?
I got a good topic for this. Okay.
I swear to God.
Yeah, we're bringing it up, Blake. We're bringing it up. Modern Warfare. I checked the leaderboards. Did you know, Igley?
I have a higher.
You currently have.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you have a higher KD than Blake. You're sleeping a little bit there. You have more kills than Blake on the game.
Oh yeah, because Blake plays nothing but cyber attack, and like I did nothing but like the 24-hour playlist for Shoot House.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really trying.
Shoot House.
Shoot House is a
really
new map
trying
house
to
added.
peep on Blake here.
It's a 3-lane map. It's very cool. It's very small.
The only one worse is Piccadilly.
I like Piccadilly,
my kind
dude.
of map.
You hate the map?
I like Piccadilly.
I hate Shoot House.
It has some bullshit on there, but I like it. But spawns in like anything that isn't like search or ass. But it's a fun map. There's a lot of cheese. I just like cheesing in the game.
Yeah.
Which is why he's the riot shield and throwing knives and C4.
General consensus on the game in here is it's a good game.
But
in terms of like what we think of it, and this has been the first Call of Duty we've liked in a long time, so it's kind of exciting.
That's not true.
What?
Black Ops 2 is not that long ago.
All right.
That was
It-
pretty long
Black
ago.
Ops
That was
2 was-
long time ago.
Okay, so
That's
literally
only been like 4 years.
Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, what
Black
else
Ops
has
2
come
is
out?
2012 late era, Matt.
No, it was not.
Yes, it
It's
was.
7 years ago.
It's not
Yes.
2012.
Really?
It's not. It's probably like 2015.
Black
the
Ops
release
2?
date.
Is
The
it-
Black
release
Ops
date
2?
for Black Ops 2 is 2012.
Oh god.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Okay.
So as I'm
So-
saying, it's very exciting that we like these CODs now. The campaign. What do you guys think of the campaign?
Campaign was
okay.
great for a Call of
Yeah,
Duty campaign.
Very good.
Blake, you never played it, did you?
No.
Oh
Yeah,
my
like-
god, dude! No, it's such a good. It's such a good story,
It
dude. It's so good.
it did a lot right with the story. It did a good job of writing a like impactful story with like good character moments. It's not a happy story. You're not going balls to the wall action. There are dark moments in the game.
the whole series is dark. Like the whole every mission in that campaign is so dark.
Yeah.
I love it. It was very good.
And like going back to play other CODs in it, like they're fun because I did play a little bit the first Modern Warfare's campaign and I didn't finish it yet. But it is the first Modern Warfare. I
did Corey, I don't think.
I played through it. I just kind of fell off the game just because I fell off Call of Duty because I burnt myself out on it a little bit. It was good. The campaign was like fun. Nothing like to write home about. I'm sure it gets better. Just like I only played the first 3 missions.
Very good.
But like it doesn't have the same strides. At least
Yeah.
of like what but it could be also since I didn't play the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Those are really good campaigns. All right. Let's that's all I got for game questions. You guys have anything other topics or
What
whatever?
about the
for
game of the decade?
Yeah, game of the decade.
What is game of the decade? I didn't even hear about this.
Remember we were
did?
talking about it, you're like, you see it for the podcast.
I brought it up with you.
Okay, I do remember this. I don't remember what it was though.
It's
no,
everyone's game. of
Our
the
game
decade.
of the
Personal.
like individual.
Oh, okay, yeah, go. Yeah.
If you have an answer prepared and like if you want to talk about it, I guess that'd be good.
Yeah,
but-
I already know what it is. I already know mine. We're good. My game of the decade, and it'll probably be Blake's game of the decade as well. It may not actually. God of War, I think, is my game of the decade.
What reasons do you have for it?
It came out in a time where every game had microtransactions in it. Every single game on the market, and it kind of like
Came in at the end of that.
Yeah, it still was. It was the best one. though.
There hadn't been a lot of linear based story games.
Yeah, it proved that you didn't need multiplayer to have a good game. Pretty much,
Right.
And I know other games have done that, but at this point in time, we really needed that.
Mm-hmm.
And the story in it is 10 out of 10. That story is great. The visuals are 10 out of 10. The sound is 10 out of 10. I mean, that game is so good. I really like the actual I don't know if he's the writer or director. What's his name? Corey Barlog. I really like him. I hope he
Because his
I hope
name's
he-
Corey.
Yeah, that's a good name.
No, he spells it wrong. He spells it wrong. He spells it without the
Mm.
E. So
That's a sin.
yeah, for sure. But anyways, I hope he writes the second one, or I hope he gets another chance at video games. I'm sure he will. He's great. I follow him on Twitter. He's always active on there. That game is my game of the decade. That's a great game.
Could I ask a follow-up question?
Yeah, go ahead.
In what ways was it impactful to you?
Impactful?
Do you feel like it was impact like this?
Yeah. There's a really good twist at the end of the game that's really like kind of hit me hard. I didn't expect it at all. I don't know if there's things that impact me like that I can relate to in it because it's all about gods, and I mean maybe like I'm not a father, but there's
Mhm.
lessons in fatherhood there for sure as Kratos is trying to adapt kind of as a father. He's a father in this game, and he's not really built to be a father. He's kind of a rage monster. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got to tone it down a little bit in this game. But you definitely get some good stuff in that game. It's a really good game.
Do you feel like it's a game that you'll revisit often, or have
Yeah,
you
I've
ever?
actually played it twice or 3 times now.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Igley, what's yours?
Okay. So for those few listening and my dear friends, have a good handle of how much I enjoy From Software and Miyazaki, the director's writing. So my game of the decade, I mentioned it earlier as being one of my all-time favorites, is going to be Dark Souls, released in 2011. It has been such an impactful game for its gritty storytelling and like overall dark atmosphere and world design.
Are you reading a script?
No, I'm just ad-libbing until I hit that tangent where I stopped. But it came at a time where games didn't like were just kind of sandbox experiences to me, and I kind of forgot like what challenge was in video games. So I played this game in high school. I just kind of got psyched about the idea of playing a game that was advertised to be very difficult, and the game tells you that you're going to get your ass kicked. And I got my ass kicked playing the game. And there's just a lot of impactful moments and like memorable moments I have of my like early hours of the game of literally just running away from shit, thinking like the AI is not
Yeah.
going to follow me, and turning around and seeing a giant black knight with like a sword that is bigger than my body is just gaining speed on me, and it's just impacted a way of how I approach and view games. And Kojo, I'm sure you can probably tell, like you probably know the impact that Dark Souls had as a game, just for like in terms of the whole gaming genre. A lot of games kind of took what Dark Souls did,
Oh, big.
like making a challenging game. Like it just kind of brought that feeling back that people like challenging games.
Yeah. Blake played God of War on the hardest difficult. The hardest
Mhm.
difficulty in God of War is kind of you get that Dark Soulsy From Software feeling.
Mhm.
And Blake, after 2
Mhm.
hours,
Did not
was
progress
still
past
in
the
the
tutorial.
tutorial. Yeah, it was still in the tutorial, and then and the new Star Wars game also has From Software elements. Actually, a lot of From Software elements.
And that's something I also want to like add on. It's impacted how I approach games. That whenever I play a game that like features like a heavy emphasis on good combat, I will approach that game on the harder or hardest difficulty just because I
Yeah.
want that extra sense of challenge. I want to see where my mistakes are being made and learning how I can improve on that. And the entire game, like Dark Souls as a whole, has just been like a huge domino effect that eventually led to Sekiro, which was 2019's Game of the Year.
Dude, that game so good.
So I feel like I went a bit long, but there's just a lot of
You're
praise I
good.
can sing for the game.
Sekiro or Dark Souls? Which one do you think is harder?
Definitely Dark Souls,
I'd
but
agree.
for the wrong reasons. Um Sekiro, it does a lot better.
Sekiro.
I like rolling that R.
Yeah.
It does a better job at teaching the player. Um, yeah, it does a better job of teaching the player your tools and controls. You learn your entire character's kit very early on, and
Mhm.
since it was more optimized for like just using like a sword in combat as opposed to the wide range of like different play styles and builds you can make in other FromSoft games, it just it feels like a better game. The mechanics
Yeah.
are much cleaner and that it shows, although it's slightly limited in terms of replayability because you don't have that diversity in combat just due to different weapons and such. What the game has, it does phenomenal. The game
I'm-
feels like the combat and swordplay feels like a work of art. It's a rhythm game that just feels so good once you get into it.
I'd agree with that. All of that for sure. A more casual gamer can get into Sekiro, whereas
Mhm.
Dark Souls feels a bit clunky. I don't know if that was on purpose or because it was made in 2011 or
A little bit of
Dark Souls
both.
3.
The clunkiness is by design. They give weapon swings and just other movements in the game purposefully a lot of lag time, so the player remains patient.
Okay.
And the game also just has some uh hey like at first the first time you run into them, purposefully like unfair moments just to like show you this is a cruel world. You're not getting babied here.
My game of the decade. See, I've played a lot of games in a
Mhm.
decade.
Okay, gamer.
I mentioned The Last of Us is my favorite game, so I won't make that my game of the decade. Koji already said God of War. I won't make that.
Yeah.
You can do that.
You can make
Nah.
Last of Us. Did you say you're not going to say Last of Us is yours? Because I thought for sure you'd say that. And it's
Honestly,
totally
don't
I-
divert
I-
your decision.
I
Let's hear you
could
unfiltered.
say The Last of Us, but
Is it
Do it.
Spider-Man PS4,
it's
brother?
Spider-Man PS4.
Oh,
It's
okay,
Spider-Man
that's a good
PS4.
one. We didn't even talk about. That's a great game.
I just like I have a lot of. I've enjoyed playing a lot of games in this decade. I already said that, but Spider-Man PS4, it's the same thing as it was with Jedi Fallen Order. It's just one of my favorite superheroes.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just a lot of that game to like and very little to not like. The only thing that I could really say was a problem with that game would have been the same thing that was mentioned with like Ghost Recon Wildlands, in that all the side quest stuff was so tedious, was so
Yeah.
repetitive, and it just lacked that, original feel when you're beating up the same prisoners that broke out of Rikers for the 15th time to get that naked suit. In terms of like story, again, combat, music, just all of it. Like, I loved that game. DLC, I think they released either 2 or 3 story DLCs to that game.
Weren't they all based around Catwoman or whatever?
The first one was based on Black Cat, and then the next one was
That's what it
Silver
was.
Sable. And it was just
DC.
awesome. Yeah, you're
DC.
you're
Yeah.
a coon. You're a narc. dude.
Batman's. It's all right.
Um,
So yeah, go ahead.
But I've played that game several times, and I guess like what I'm most like about that game is that Insomniac Games took Spider-Man and created their own original story that's completely separate from the MCU, that just flowed so well.
they had aspects
was
of the
that?
original story. It sounded a little. Someone have
That needs to get cut
someone's shorts get a little warm there. Someone's shorts get a little warm.
seat
there?
warm,
What's
bro?
that? But they included. I played it too, and they included the best aspects of the original like story in it. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but the main stuff in the like original story happens in this, like all the good stuff. But they also did do their own twist on it, and I really enjoyed that as well.
Yeah, like they brought in Miles.
Yeah. Yep.
And it was such a good game. And Kojo always dogs me because he'd message me to tell me to play like Sekiro or something. I'm like, oh no, I'm on my 9th playthrough of Spider-Man PS4,
Dude,
bro. Chill
it
on
got
me.
annoying. And then Sekiro goes and wins Game of the Year.
Yeah, it shouldn't have, but that's fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
Matt.
yeah, that game's just baller. There were 3 DLCs, not 2.
Okay. Matt, what is your game of the decade?
It's this one's pretty hard for me because I haven't liked Nintendo since like 2014.
And you were the biggest Nintendo fanboy
Mhm.
I'd ever
And
met.
all my favorite games are like in the 2000s. Like that's my decade. So and there are a few. I'm not gonna say Rouse of Ether because it's not worthy of it. I only
So
like
go
it.
back to
I-
that
I only-
decade then.
I don't know
The earlier
because
one.
I have one for this. I thought
You
Okay,
just say Sunshine if you went back to
No.
the earlier decade.
and it's
Fair enough. Yeah.
I'm not gonna say Rivals because even though I like it, I'm good at it. I made money off it. It's it's just an indie game, and it's not. It's a great game. It's just not worthy of it. But I'd probably have to say, and something that I think none of you guys would expect for me to answer, I'll probably go with Portal 2.
Ooh.
What?
I'd agree with that.
I didn't get that at all, but that's a great choice.
Is my game of the decade, released in 2011, the year of many great releases that year.
Holy
It's
cow.
just the
It's a good one.
gameplay. It's like when I played, because I played the first Portal first, and I was like, wow, this game's really cool. But then Portal 2, it's like they just added so much to it that it's like it's just mind-boggling how many possibilities there are for a game like that. And the story, like the playthrough of it with the narrative and the characters is really enjoyable. And the co-op is super fun to play through.
Valve is
And-
always really good at making new creative games. I
And it's
mean,
just-
there was nothing like Portal out there when it came out.
And I'm
Do you
not a
mean Left
too
4
big
Dead 3?
puzzle guy. I'm not
Yeah.
that big of a puzzle guy because it's like a puzzle platformer kind of thing. It's just really fun for me.
Yeah. They're coming out with that. Valve's coming out with, what is it, the Alex on VR? New, I forget what it's called. The word escaped me. Half-Life?
Hmm.
Now, I don't know how well that's going to do because that's
Probably really well.
I mean, it's a very small market. I mean, VR, I don't know the exact stats on it, but I'm assuming that not a lot of people have VR. So it's a very small market in my mind, but I hope they do well with that because we need more Valve games and I need to play more Valve games.
I will piggyback off the topic of Portal 2. It is a really good game, and like the gap and like between the first and second game, you could really tell like that the first game they're just trying out game mechanics and seeing what they can do by just creating a fun game, and the second one just kind of took everything to the next level. So I agree with that being a respectable choice.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Right.
Let's go into, I mean, we could
Nah,
start here.
Professional YouTuber's got to give his 10
Corey.
cents.
Oh, my
Alright,
bad. Yeah, go ahead.
Please tell us
I'll
about
make
how
it short
Fortnite-
and sweet. It's not Fortnite. My game of the
Should not
decade
be.
is Grand Theft Auto 5.
Ooh.
I really enjoyed the multiplayer. You know, had a lot of good memories with friends. All the content they added, the missions, the heist, cars, planes. I really love the aerial combat and just flying in that game. Probably the most I've enjoyed flying in any game. I know for Blake
Yo.
that'd probably be Ace Combat, but I've never played an Ace Combat game. So,
Well, you probably should, but
but yeah, GTA 5. I just enjoyed everything, even something as simple as dressing up my character.
Okay. Did you like the single player of GTA 5?
It was okay. GTA 4 was far superior.
Holy shit!
Absolutely. I agree with that completely.
you mean Taxi Driver Simulator?
That's the one.
Yeah. Okay.
GTA 4 spoke to me as a Eastern European immigrant, even though I moved here when I was 1.
Spoke to you that hard, huh?
I just
He was
watched
like,
the opening.
I left a life of crime.
Yeah, you.
Come to America. It's the 1-year-old
Igley
toddler.
rolled up to here like, "Daddy's back, you bitches."
Hey, I'm like, that's the old country.
Yeah, he's
No, but like
Robin Banks to podcasts.
no, it just the early parts of the game is really fucking funny to me, especially just Nico's outfit, like the shitty or not like the really dated ass clothing, and like how they poke fun of it. It's just
Yeah.
it's hilarious to me. And also it had 2 really good expansions.
Yeah,
Gay
that's
Tony.
true. We didn't get any of that for GTA 5.
I'm sure it was planned, but then they saw how well GTA
Profitable.
Online did.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
I have a topic. And I'll go first to give you guys the idea. I just want to talk about it.
Mhm.
So we said game of the decade,
Game of
Yes.
the decade.
but I just feel like I would be remiss to not go more into, games of the decade. So my topic is your favorite single player story experience.
You're passionate about that. You're clapping while you're
Oh
talking.
yeah, baby.
Single player
I'm doing the gator
experience.
chomp right now.
Single
And I
player
can go
experience.
first just to give you guys more time to process it.
Hmm.
Singular games, it'd be Skyrim.
Oh,
But you know, no, I'll just go into Skyrim. Like Skyrim, that's the only midnight release game I've ever gone to. I had my dad take me because we were leaving the next day to go on a work trip to Sedona. And I literally remember sitting in the house that we were staying at, solving like the puzzles before we realized that the code on the claws were actually on the back of the claw. So my dad and I were literally sitting there going problem solving, figuring out the potential combinations and trying them. It was hilarious. But I don't know. There's just fewer games that I've spent more time on, and that have resonated so well with me that there's literally no multiplayer in general. Like that is exclusively single player. It's like God of War. And that was really missing there, during the middle chunk of the 2010s was linear based story games. And you can't even really call Skyrim linear. So I don't know. It's just really, any Elder Scrolls game is great, but I really enjoyed Skyrim. So
I'm really interested to hear. I have mine. I'm really interested to hear Corey's because he's a multiplayer game.
Yeah,
he's a multiplayer guy. So
I figured this question would be hard for him.
Yeah, I mean it may not.
I mean, it's not hard for me. It was Red Dead Redemption 1 for the longest time, and then Red Dead 2 came out.
Okay, let me rephrase. I wanted like exclusively single player game.
That's hard. No,
so
you
like
can't do that.
Mass Effect or Skyrim and Mass Effect 3, I guess, doesn't qualify because it had multiplayer, but
you can't do that because there's some games out there that have better single player.
I know, but we talked about those games is what I'm saying. I'm trying to give those like single player, like Dark Souls.
Corey's never talked about
when's the last time I've played and beat a game?
Mirror's Edge.
Well, obviously, but I'm not going to say that's my favorite. But like the single player only.
I'd go with Red Dead, dude. That's your game.
All right, hold up. Yeah, everyone who hasn't said theirs, say theirs. And in the meantime, I'll be thinking about some games I used to play that are only single player and see if I can figure one out besides Red Dead, since Blake is being so specific.
I wanna kind of fix Blake's question year two. It doesn't have to be a purposefully single player only game, because since Red Dead does have multiplayer aspects, but what single player experience have you enjoyed the most in the past decade?
Yeah, for sure. Because there's definitely better games out there that have multiplayer. Like Red Dead single player blows most single players out of the water, and it does have multiplayer, and the multiplayer's trash. So like,
we're talking about Red Dead 2, right? Because Red Dead 1's multiplayer was fucking gangster.
Fair enough. Yeah, Red Dead 2 was, but he said Red Dead 1 and 2. So, I would just go with your best single player game because that's your game. I mean, and you haven't talked about that at all on this one.
I just wanted to talk about Skyrim.
Would you want us to come back to you?
I mean, I'm really trying to think of one. I don't think I'm going to be able to come up with just a single player. I mean, I can throw our way back to like, the end of the 1990s, early 2000s, and say Super Mario 64.
Yeah, we're talking about 2010s game of the decade, bro.
Bro. Nah.
Hey, you caused this.
You want to get specific? I'll get specific.
Yeah, you caused this, Blake.
You want to go single player only? Super Mario 64, not the one on DS either.
Corey said not that. I'm not getting.
I heard that slipping.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
I'm not gonna say it. I'm above that.
Can I guess your game?
Yeah.
Before you say it, is it New Vegas?
So, New Vegas is pretty good, and it just hit the brink of release, October 19th, 2010.
Oh, that's still there. You can count that. We ain't gonna be super picky. I'm not. Blake is. But I'm not
counts.
That just shows that counts. That just shows that Igloo was Googling it to see if he could make that his game of the decade, which makes me right.
I mean, I will still probably put Dark Souls over it.
Yeah.
But in terms of like just think of favorite single player game of the decade, or like favorite single player gaming experience, not wholly for the narrative aspect, but New Vegas is up there. It has a very fun world. You get to explore. A very abrupt start. I'm not sure how much everyone knows about the game, but you're literally just a dude doing your job who gets shot in the head, and you're tracking down the guy who shot you. So it's
baller.
I'm sure Corey would love it. It is a Fallout game, but it plays on like a very Wild West theme. But the reason it was impactful for me, or the reason I like it a lot, and I would put it as my favorite, is just it just has a lot of memorable gaming moments for me because I played it at a point in my life where I used video games as a pretty big escape. So it was just a fun world I could just literally get lost in for the day, turn off and go home, and just go to bed for the night. It has a very large world with like a bunch of different quests you can do, and those quests, it pretty much puts you and with the ability to do whatever you want. It has a lot of different quest paths, and the game has just a lot of different ways you can approach things with just how you decided to build your character.
What is your take on Bethesda right now with Fallout 76? Bethesda went down. Everybody can answer this. Bethesda went down
Trash.
quite the steep hill.
They're really in the shitter right now. It just seems like every time they try to take a step forward, they're just taking a lot of they just fuck something up. Fallout
Big time
76 has
transactions.
is a pretty big joke, as
It's
we all
like
know it.
the equivalent of Metal Gear Survive. Like, why do you even release a game
That's
like
true.
this? That's not what people want.
Yeah.
And I also am not a fan of them like teasing the next Elder Scrolls game.
Oh
even though,
my gosh, yeah.
even though it's not going to be ready till like 2023 or some shit.
That's really just.
They really just gave you a cutscene.
Yeah. It was a cutscene with the title on it. That's all it was, and it wasn't even like it was just rolling over hills.
It was a rolling over hills like a fortress or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's really all the. Oh wait, did everybody answer the single player one?
Corey didn't ever give his full.
Oh yeah, Corey.
I mean, well, I had said Super Mario 64, but Blake said that didn't count because it's not in the decade.
Yeah.
So I can't say something like Assassin's Creed 3 or 4 because they have multiplayer in them. Go figure. So
that's such a dumb rule. I think we should get rid of that rule.
If we're getting rid of that rule, it's definitely Red Dead 1 and 2. But
if you want to go
like about
Red Dead
1,
what I like about Red Dead 1, like
and 2, I guess.
I mean, the characters in the story, they're so rich and well written. Their dialogue, the way you interact with them, the animals, the way they play a part in the story, the guns, the era.
I was so frustrated when they didn't include them in the the multiplayer in Red Dead 2. Like the legendary animals.
Oh yeah, the legendary animals. I still think they'll do that in an update, but I haven't been on Red Dead in a while. I don't know exactly what they're doing right now. The most recent thing I saw was the snow, which I kind of want to check out, but I don't feel like plugging my Xbox in. And I'm kind of like disappointed in Rockstar that I can't transfer my character from Xbox to PC since I play on PC now, because I was a pretty high level with a lot of stuff, and I really don't want to start from the beginning. But yeah, I'll just go with Red Dead as my favorite single player.
Matt, what is yours?
Mine is NBA 2K14 My Career.
That's a cap.
That's your single player?
No,
is that the one with okay, I'm not even gonna go into that then.
Got sunshine.
Cap.
That's can I just name like 3 games?
Yeah.
Because you know me, I don't go into depth.
The last time we did this, it was bad.
I don't go into depth. So if I had to pick besides Portal 2, I'd probably have to go with Sonic Generations. That was a very fun game I remember getting on release day because I'm a big
Sonic doesn't have a lot of good games.
Not in the last decade. You'd be right on that, but Sonic Generations is definitely the best out of the past 10 years.
Okay.
I'd also say Dust and Elysian Tale.
Oh,
Throwback. I was obsessed with that game.
You were.
My 4th year of Xbox. A great indie game. If y'all haven't heard of it, check it out. Kind of not really a Metroidvania, but like just sort of a side scroller, good art style of like a hack and slash kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some platforming elements. And then Lastly, it'd probably just be like the entire Shovel Knight game of like all the different campaigns. It's a more like it's kind of plays like Mega Man, just kind of 2D platformer kind of things, and that's all I pretty much enjoyed single player wise.
Have you played the newest expansion to it?
No, because I'm lazy.
Oh, sounds like you got some work to do.
I think I don't does anyone else have any more topics, or are we good to go there? I don't really want to. We've been literally rambling for an hour and 40 minutes. I don't want to get into the NBA because it'd be a 2.5 hour podcast if we did that. So we'll probably stop here. Maybe come back the next one with Rise of Skywalker reviews because we're gonna go see it tomorrow. Most of us, I guess. Actually, all of us. Well, Corey, you were saying you wanted to see it tomorrow, same time.
Yeah,
sure
but if you guys are going at 10:30 a.m.,
No, PM. I was joking.
No, we were trolling you. Yeah, it's not AM. No one does that.
Yeah, I want to try to go at the same time so when we get out of the theater, get home, I can like talk to you guys about it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I think we'll probably wrap this up if no one has any more topics. I think it was a good first episode.
I'm not done.
You're not done. What else do you have to talk about?
He's capping.
I want to talk about how the Blazers are on a 4-game win streak.
You want to talk about NBA right now? You want to keep it going?
This is just a preview for next podcast.
It's a preview. By the time we do the next episode, they'll be on a 16-game win streak.
Okay,
so let's just put it out there. Who are our favorite teams in the NBA right now? It's not gonna make any sense. None of our favorite teams are our home team that we live by. So, or the state we live in. So, I guess I'll just go first. I like I've liked the Portland Trailblazers since I don't think I was a fan of them Damian Lillard's rookie season, but LaMarcus Aldridge was definitely still on the team. I definitely became a fan like 8 or 9 years ago or something like that. And Matt, what is your favorite team? We know Blake's favorite team. We'll save him for last. My favorite original OG team was the Seattle Supersonics. Back when Kevin Durant was drafted out of the University of Texas. But ever since Durant was a bitch and a snake and left to win championships at Golden State,
that's spice.
I have transitioned to bandwagoning the Portland Trailblazers.
Bandwagoning what? We haven't even done anything great.
Hey man, they're Western Conference Finals.
I mean, true.
I also like the Charlotte Hornets as my East team because they have Dwayne Bacon.
What's special about Dwayne Bacon?
He was probably my favorite player at Florida State University. They had a stacked team with him, Jonathan Isaac.
You actually got to meet Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah,
you have a picture of him and stuff?
He's in my basketball class at Florida State.
Do you want me to put that picture up?
No, you're not putting that picture up. I'm still shorter than him, and I'm standing on like a 6-inch step.
Jonathan Isaac is like 7 foot or 6'11" or something.
And I'm a pretty tall guy.
Yeah, 6'2". I think
like for normal people, I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm not basketball size, but being 6'2" is a fairly good.
That man looks like a giant, dude.
I'm putting it up anyway, so it's okay.
Put it up and say Jonathan Isaac's height is like 6'2".
I'm just gonna put the top of your hair and then the rest of the picture up. And then that's how you get the height difference. All right, Egley, what is your
I have been a dedicated Portland Trailblazers fan from the hot year of 2018.
Except last year. Except for when Isaiah Thomas was on the Celtics, am I right? You were the mini man, you remember? Egley's not really into the NBA that much.
No, he's a Milwaukee Bucks fan, remember? He just brings up Giannis Antetokounmpo randomly out of nowhere.
Everybody does.
I do think Antetokounmpo is like tough as fuck. That man looks godly. Holy shit.
Yeah.
But in terms of just team to watch, the Blazers have like a lot of players I just enjoy seeing.
They have a good culture.
Can't wait till Nurk's back.
I know. All right, Corey, what is your favorite team?
Well, it's kind of a hard question for me because I don't really. I have any loyalty to any team in the NBA. I'm more of a fan of players on teams. So when teams have players I like, I kind of watch those teams, like pretty much a lot of teams around the NBA. But I'll say one of my favorite for the East and West. For the East, it'd probably be the 76ers. Obviously, I like what Trae Young is doing on the Hawks, but the Hawks as a team are ass. Everyone knows that.
Yep.
And then on the West, it'd probably be the Lakers and Clippers. I like what they got going on, and I want to see them in the playoffs against each other.
Okay.
Matthew, you completely slept on the Clippers. Don't they have 2 FSU players?
They do, but they're in the G League right now.
Ooh.
Oof. Kawhi and Paul George took their spots.
Everyone else on the team took their spots because that team's just too stacked.
Yeah, it was. Blake, what is your favorite team?
LA Lakers, baby.
Oh, disgusting. Why is it your favorite team?
My dad's from SoCal. Grew up watching Kobe and Shaq. There's pictures of me as an infant in the jersey, so I'm not a. If anything, I hate LeBron, but
Okay. He's good for the Lakers right now, though. You can't.
yeah, he's good for the Lakers right now, so I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got some of my earliest memories are Kobe and Nash going at it in the finals, Kobe and Melo, or in the Western Conference Finals, or no, semifinals, because then they play the Spurs. Kobe versus Melo. Obviously, the Celtics Lakers trifecta or sequel, whatever the hell. They played in the finals twice. I remember when Kobe when they won, and Kobe was like up on the finals table doing the pose that Jordan stole from him.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a huge Lakers fan.
Blake likes I mean, fair enough. It's your favorite team. I was gonna say Blake likes Kobe more than Jordan. He does, but it
Obviously.
makes sense. Favorite team. I think that's all we'll share for today on the NBA part. We will have better topics.
Kobe's better than Jordan.
We'll have better topics. Oh,
Cut that out.
I'll leave it in. It's part of who Blake is. A massive idiot.
Nobody's gonna like Blake.
No one is gonna look, except for Lakers fans. But I don't really want that fan base. But we'll have better topics prepared for next time. I guess that's it. I guess we're signing off. Do we have an outro or anything?
Can we get some like outro beeps by Corey?
I wanna
hit us
be
with the
the
outro.
very best.
We definitely need
no
our
one ever
music.
was.
Blake's gonna get his copyrighted.
Them is real tests.
So we're gonna have Corey. We're gonna
Them is
commission
my cause.
Corey to do some outro raps for us, right?
I don't know.
I wanna travel.
Hit us with your
across the
censored
land,
beeps. Hit us with your censored beeps.
searching
And we'll end it.
far and wide.